table too. So at the like whatever the canon dates are, which I'm not going to pretend that I remember what they are, but that there's like the full war is fully like fleshed out and detailed, and the clan invasion follows all those timetables.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at this mark they invade this planet, at this time they invade this planet, at this
And
time this happens.
this mod does the same thing for BattleTech. So you can literally watch the galactic map as the clans just spread, galactic south towards the
That's
center
awesome.
of the map. It's just the amazing thing to me about that community is the total lack of toxicity. Um, it just I've just never seen a group of gamers that just love that universe so much and don't have anything negative to say about it.
And the other part of that is I feel like it's been consistently that way for 30 years.
It has. You're right. Absolutely.
It's bizarre that it hasn't devolved into some kind of like hot mess, of people's opinions that this is better than that, and you suck for doing this. Like it just never seems to happen.
No, the closest it got to that was there was a period where um, BattleTech basically didn't exist, and instead it was a clicks miniature game produced by WizKids,
Uh,
and
I remember that. I have
y-
some of those still, I think,
yeah,
in my
I
closet.
I had a lot of them. I mean I bought pretty heavily into it. It was kind of neat because it was a lot faster than normal tabletop BattleTech, you
They
know.
had a lot of mechs too.
Yeah, and I sold all that stuff off years ago, with the exception of a few pieces. Um, but they expanded the lore of the game because the game pretty much ended. Most of the lore ended around 3070, give or take, and they pushed it further another 30, 50 years into something called the Dark Age and the destruction of the HPG network and all this other stuff. And there were a lot of people, including myself, that are kind of like, I don't know if I feel about all this, but in the end, it didn't matter because we all know the prime era to play BattleTech is right around 3050, the clan invasion. That's where all the fun is.
Hell yeah.
So,
How many mechs?
oh man, I tried putting together a campaign for my kids where they played Ghost Bear during the clan invasion. And I went into I took all the historical information of Ghost Bear's invasion, and I put them through trials of position and everything. My son Max defeated all three enemies, so he came out as a star captain. So he's running a trinary. So he's got his two brothers with him that are both star commanders. He's a star captain. So they have a whole trinary. So I'm going through Ghost Bear, and it's like there's one battle on one invasion where one trinary took on an entire regiment of Intersphere mechs. That's three companies, and a company is three lances, and a lance is four mechs. And it's like what are we doing here? It's 15 mechs against dozens, and they just steamrolled them. They just using the actual mechs. I didn't let them just pick top notch Omni mechs because some designs are better than others. We all know that.
Sure.
I mean, they had some of the weird designs like the Dragonfly C, and the Dragonfly C was just obliterating heavy mechs. It was like, it was brutal.
Cool.
Oh, oh boy. I love that game.
Well,
Yeah.
Mech Warrior 6 is coming out, I think, this year, and it's a clan based.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you got a bunch of figures?
I've
Is
been
that what you
picking up the
said?
box sets.
Yeah.
So there's an exclusive one at Target that's pretty cheap, and it comes with like a $20 coupon for more shit.
There's an
So I got
exclusive one at Target?
yeah. It's like BattleTech Essentials. It comes with like just two mechs and then like a couple maps and stuff. So I picked that up, scooped up the coupon, ordered some stuff online. I also picked up there's a basic set, which is um, another one you can get pretty much anywhere. I think I got it on Amazon with a couple mechs, and then I'm going to pick up the core set here in a little bit because that one's got like 8. So
Oh, that's
I have
nice,
a,
man.
a handful of old school miniatures made of. They might even be made of lead. They're
Lead.
so old.
The old
They
ones,
are
yeah.
they are so heavy. It's shocking to
I
hold those
I
things.
have three. I well, I say my son has them. He says I have them because let's be blunt, they're mostly mine. But he's probably going to end up taking them if he ever moves out in the future. But I have three of the original Warhammers in lead. I have an original Marauder. I have an original Atlas, an original Battlemaster. I have all the Lost mechs that went away for a while because of their lawsuit with Robotech, I think it was.
Oh, right, right.
But I've got tons of those original lead mechs, and you'd be amazed what they sell for on eBay. I mean,
Oh, really?
oh yeah.
They're
Interesting.
just sitting in a box over here.
So, all right. Well, anyway, I guess
Can you guys hear me?
yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
How you
Jim, you
doing?
there?
Good.
I am here. I'm here listening to the mech conversation. That's one thing I never got into. So interesting.
It's what's so amazing about the game is not even the game itself. The game itself is fun, but if you really take the time to read all the material, the lore of that universe is just so rich. There's so many characters. There's so much stuff. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and it just belies itself because it looks like it's all about just the
Big stompy
machines.
robots, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's so much more than that.
The
Um,
games are fun too, especially if they do the mech lab right, because there's like two parts of the game that you can sink your teeth into. There's the obvious like combat stuff, twitchy, fast twitch, you got to get good at the controls, that kind of stuff. You can sink your teeth into that. But there's the whole designing and tweaking of your mech. You can
Yeah.
experiment with, squeezing more engine speed out of it or trying to carry more ammo or bigger guns or like there's so many strategies that you can attempt or, that you can
Hmm.
try to tweak and push. And I'm not as big into that, but I mean, for some people, that's the game. Like they,
Absolutely.
they don't give a shit about the combat as much as they do about creating the ultimate mech loadout.
Right. Right.
I'm a let me tell you, you give me a 60-ton dragon and let me fuck around with that bastard to get his speed up a little bit and give me a whole bunch of SRM 6s. I will give you a really bad day.
I have a friend I keep trying to tell him he loves like spreadsheet stuff. Like spreadsheets for him are fun. And I'm like, oh, dude, you need to play Mech Warrior. You
Yeah.
know, like even if you suck at combat, there's going to be like a lot of game for you to enjoy, but he just can't see his way to it.
Mm.
I'll tell you guys, the game that really revolutionized the gaming world was Mech Warrior 2. Um, the original Mech Warrior came back in, God, I don't know, 89, 88, 89, somewhere in that ballpark. It might have been earlier than that, but it was in that neighborhood. And it was, clunky old school EGA graphics, and it was fun. But Mech Warrior 2, where you had the choice between playing Clan Wolf or Clan Jade Falcon, was one of the first PC games that made everybody go, holy shit, PCs are built for games? Um, I was working in a video game store back then. We had these monitors that ran out front with VHS tapes that had, parts of games and stuff. And we had the whole intro for Mech Warrior 2. We had one tape that was just Mech Warrior 2, the intro, some cutscenes, and the some of the fighting, and people would just stand there and watch it over and over and over.
Reactor online, sensors
Oh
online,
man, bitching Betty, man, gotta love her. That's what that voice is called, is bitchin' Betty.
Bitchin' Betty. Yeah.
reactor
Nice.
online,
Damage critical, heat level critical.
shutting
Yeah,
down. That's what
no,
you
no,
don't want to
no.
hear in the
Control
middle
O,
of a
control
gunfight.
O, control O. Override,
Shutting down,
override.
shutting down. Engine is shutting down. Ammo explosion.
Oh, yeah. You're done at that point. Hmm. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Sitting here
Hey,
reminiscing about.
before
Yeah.
we get started, there was I read a book. Well, actually, listened to a book last week and the week before while I was doing yard work. It's called Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson. Um, yeah, I'm not going to tell you about that book too much, except that it was fucking terrifying and awesome. She basically researched for 15 years what it would be like to what a nuclear war would be like minute to minute,
Sounds
and what
great.
yeah, right. And she interviewed, like high level people from the Oppenheimer years all the way up to, Leon Panetta to, four-star generals today and got it like this is what would happen. And it's terrifying. But that's not the point. She also wrote a book called Phenomena, which is all about the history of the intelligence services looking into psi and fortune telling and all the stuff we're doing in this game.
Oh,
And the first part of I only listened probably for the first hour of the book, talking about the Nazis dive into the cult
oh
and
yeah.
all the dynamics within inside the Third Reich. Like, Hitler was like, what the fuck is Himmler doing here? This is bullshit. We want to get rid of religion, and now you're sticking another different kind of religion into it, with the whole occult stuff. And really interesting. I mean, I knew a lot of history, but I guess I must have forgotten about Rudolf Hess,
Mm,
that he basically parachuted into Scotland,
that's right.
right, based on some fortune telling, some card readings or star charts that the British intelligence had planted inside the Nazi regime. So that because they knew that these guys were like kind of into that stuff, so there was they called her the White Witch of England, and she developed this star chart to fuck with their brains, and they planted it inside Germany because to influence their leaders, and it worked. Got Hess to parachute into Scotland and get captured.
That's amazing.
Well, and it's funny you talk about that. There's a really good book. I can't remember who it's by, but I've got it in my shelf on there called Hitler's Monsters, and
Yeah.
it talks a lot about the Nazi obsession with the occult.
Hmm.
But Heinrich Himmler, who features in my upcoming novel Wolves of War in October.
Uh,
Heinrich
ding ding ding.
Himmler, yeah, exactly. He was really the one that had a bit of an occult obsession, but it was really more from the standpoint of he believed that if they could establish the SS and the Third Reich as a religion, drawing on the pagan beliefs that many Germans still held on to, the ancient pagan traditions out of the north, out of northern Europe, that he could basically establish a nationalism that would last forever.
Yeah, and
And
that's exactly what she's saying. She was talking about the motivations behind it, and they that's exactly what you're saying is that they wanted to bring in all the mystical stuff from you know well mythology from the north. And but when the Allies invaded, they went to one of the institutes that was set up for this occult research, and they walk into one of the rooms, and it was very clear that they were actually doing like trying to do real magic, and there was like a baby skull in there, and there were these weird mannequins, and there was all kinds of burnt stuff on the floor, and it's just real nightmare fuel, and it's insane. Yeah.
yeah, well, it's my John Hartman series called, which is called the Black Sun Cycle,
Hmm.
is going to deal with a lot of that.
Oh,
Um, uh,
cool.
but the not the second one as much, but yeah, no, and it's a lot of people don't know this. For years, Adolf Hitler's personal astrologer and psychic was
Hmm.
actually Jewish,
Oh,
and he was assassinated, I think, in 1931. And I'd have to go back and check. I think Rudolf Hess was the one who was blamed for that assassination, but it's generally accepted now that Himmler was probably the one that had that done, um, because again, Himmler was the architect of the final solution. His hatred
hmm.
for Jewish people was pretty unmatched, but also he didn't want Hitler taking occult information from his personal astrologer. He wanted Hitler taking it from him.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's nuts. It was I didn't know she wrote this book, and this is the nuclear war one was the first one I ever read of hers. But the detail and the research she did, I'm like, well, if I want to learn about the psychic history of intelligence services. I guess I'll read this, but yeah, I like it. If you guys are at all interested in this stuff, Annie Jacobson, she's something else.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, and
It's definitely up my alley. So,
yeah, and don't read the nuclear war book. It's not going to make you happy. Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
It's
So
just some light
Um,
bedtime reading. What are you talking about?
yeah, it's interesting you say that because people have no idea what they would have to deal with, and I really get mad when I'm watching TV and somebody says it looks like a atomic bomb went off. No,
right,
no,
yeah,
no, it
no,
doesn't.
no, it doesn't.
You can't even imagine what that would be like. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, this one I would it's about 8 hours, 8.5 hours for the listen, and it actually works really well as an audiobook because again, she goes minute by minute and basically the world is over, I think in 72 minutes completely gone.
Jeez.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised it takes that long.
Maybe it was less. I think it was 20. It was 27 minutes for the first bomb to hit the Pentagon from North Korea, and then things just started unraveling because, it was a surprise attack and we didn't know what was happening. Of course, the Russians get all, paranoid, and if we launch, they launch, and I won't ruin it for you, but you can see where it goes. It's like,
Fun.
yeah, that could, It's yeah. Anyway,
I just see
hoping one of
Matthew
the
Broderick pressing on the keys on the keyboard,
right,
going,
Oh,
"Learn, learn."
yeah, yeah. It's oh, and I guess I keep pretty close tabs on stuff that goes on in the world. Maybe you guys know this, but I didn't realize North Korea launched an RV-sized satellite that's
Yeah.
hovering above us all the time, and we suspect it's one of those EMPs, the super EMPs, which, we made fun of Kim Jong-un back a few years ago because we showed that satellite picture of South Korea being really lit up and North Korea being really dark.
Oh yeah.
I guess that really pissed him off, and that's why they built that thing. And he
The
basically wants to say, "Fuck you. You want to see what the Stone Age is like, and put us in the Stone Age." And
Well, fortunately, I don't have a whole lot of faith in North Korea's ability to build anything that really works.
that's true. I
Um,
I know, but hope isn't a
y-
strategy. So I'm
no,
like,
you're right. Hope is not a strategy. It's found between, pardon the language, but it's found between fucked and screwed in the dictionary.
yeah, yeah. So well, we'll see, but yeah, let's get back to killing
yes,
Nazis.
please.
Yeah. All right. So we left off. You guys were in the building outside of the labor camp near the Castel de San Angelo, I believe is what it's called.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, and uh, as you were slinking your way up there, you started hearing gunfire. Um, so Baker popped up on the roof and came to the conclusion that the gunfire was coming from an area that you think is a dig site right near the camp. That the dig site's kind of built into a building, the foundation of a building that's been demolished, and the camp was all abuzz with soldiers running around, and soldiers came out of an opening, and they were carrying what you assume to be bodies that were covered with sheets or tarps. That there was just something very disconcerting about the shapes of those bodies, and they loaded them into an Opel truck. And I believe, Baker, you heard an officer, or maybe it was just a sergeant. I'd have to go back and look at the notes. But anyway, you someone in command shouting to take those bodies to the hospital
In German, yeah.
in German. Correct. Um, and Yeah, I mean that's really where we left off. Does anyone have any other important notes they think we need to go over?
No, I was taking a look. That's a pretty good summation.
And we're
Uh,
all here on the site, right?
Yeah, yeah. Baker, I guess, is still technically with his head popped out the top of the building.
Yeah, I
Everyone else is down inside.
I basically was relaying what I was seeing to the guys through the open, um,
Right.
whatever it was, a hatch or a door or whatever. Um, the the fire was automatic weapon fire, right? Like machine guns. That's what I remember, or not?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, they're. By the way, just so you guys know where you're at on things, we're at 8 threat and 3 momentum.
Okay.
Um,
8 threat. Oh mama.
well, it's what we started with. I haven't used any of it yet, and you haven't given me any.
That still sounds like a lot.
Um, the Yeah, I mean, I would definitely conclude that it is automatic weapon fire. I wouldn't give you more information than that unless you wanted to try to glean that information with momentum spend or whatnot.
No, it's. I don't think it's terribly important, but um, and then we saw the bodies come out of the opening. My notes are not clear. Let's see. I saw soldiers inside the fence. Um, man, it's how long has it been since we played? A while.
2 weeks at
Couple
least.
weeks, yeah.
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks.
Okay. I know we saw some of the laborers, but I didn't. I'm sure. It's hard to say if we saw all of them, but we saw some of the laborers. Um, how did they look physically? Um, did they look healthy? Did they look emaciated? Were they wearing any kind of prison garb? I don't remember.
Yeah, they were all wearing gray uniforms. Um, just stark gray uniform. With the same uniforms that the prisoners that you saw get into the truck down at the prison were wearing. Um, very dirty, no shoes, matted hair. Different physical conditions.
What did the Germans have against shoes?
It's a basic comfort in life, I guess.
I don't know, but all the old pictures, nobody seems to have any shoes on. Their feet look awful. Okay. Um,
Here's my notes here. Half a dozen workers in dig site, half a dozen standing at attention in campsite.
Yep.
Total of
good
13
notes.
soldiers at dig site. 5 from the tunnels, 8 already outside. There are 7 other soldiers around the enclosure, including those in the tower, so 20 total.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's a lot of guys.
Yeah, way more than number of prisoners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sure would be nice to have some heavy equipment right about now.
It would
You
be.
want I should kill these folks?
Pulls out the bag.
Well, let me duck back into the building so we can have a conversation. Um, Guys, I think our idea of sneaking into the compound to see what we could see um, is going to be difficult at best.
Would you call it foobar?
I don't know if it's a level of foobar. I think foobar begins when we actually do it. But right now we're just thinking about it. Um, there's an awful lot of soldiers in there with automatic weapons. The question is, as great heroes of the of the West. Uh, Actually, we have a hero of the Far East too. But as great heroes, do we really see that the right move is to try and go in there and liberate the workers? Just with the idea that we might find this Pasquino guy. Our goal was to try and go in and see what was happening and what was going on at the site, um, I'm thinking that the hospital where they took these bodies, if that's what they were, might be a softer target, and we might glean a lot of information from trying to get in there and look at whatever these things are. That might tell us a lot. What do you guys think?
Well, wait a minute, sir. I'm no mathematician, but I figure with that fancy knife, you get the first nine, I get the second nine, Pilecki will take one, and Sing will take one. It ain't that bad.
Where should I take him? The cafe?
Slim starts laughing.
No, I mean, I was just thinking at the hospital that they packed up some bodies or some like were they alive or were they not when
Several
they
forms covered, two forms covered in a white sheet,
Yeah, they
uh
weren't moving. It looked to me like they were
hmm,
dead weight.
okay.
and there was some sort a sheet or a tarp, and there was some sort of stain on the sheet as well.
Okay. Well, if you get me in the room with that sheet, that stained sheet, I'll tell you what happened inside the.
Oh yeah, you, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can go in through that truck bed, but we're going to need to procure a vehicle.
You hear the truck rumble to life outside, and it sounds like it's starting to drive.
Yeah, boy, if we want to do something with the hospital and what's in there, we should probably follow that, huh?
Yeah, well, since it's nighttime, we do our best work at night. I think sometimes. I think I think the hospital is our next move. Let's glean some more intelligence before we try and bust in and um, make a commotion. Right now, it's not clear that anyone knows we're watching their activities.
Hmm.
Right? We haven't alerted anyone to our actions yet.
No, you've not.
Um,
Based based on our knowledge of the guidebook so far, I mean, is there a lot of hospitals in the area, or is there pretty
oh,
much
we
just the
we
one?
knew the name of the hospital,
Oh, we do.
You do know the name of the hospital.
and we
It's
know its location on the map because of that name.
Yeah,
'Cause-
it's on Tiber Island.
right,
Oh, it's not I'm thinking the prison. That's what I was thinking of.
Well,
not
it's I
Right,
mean they're almost right across the river from each other.
right.
Gotcha.
right. So the hospital's on the island, but the prison is not. That's
It's
what it,
on the yeah, it's
It's
on
on
one
the
of the
West
banks,
Bank. Yeah,
West
yeah,
Bank.
oh, right.
or
I see.
is it the West Bank? Yeah, it's the West Bank.
Yeah, because we already walked over there,
That's right.
and that's how we saw the.
From
And that's like
your
a,
from your present position, so the island, if you literally follow the river on its twisty way west, south, and east again, actually from your current position, it's pretty much due south and southeast.
Right,
It's about three and a half kilometers. The island is reachable by a bridge. There's a single road that that completely crosses the river. It's a bridge from one side to the island, and then continues and makes a bridge to the other side. So there's only two ways in and out of the island, short of like swimming to it or something. If you're going by road, there's only two ways: one from the west, one from really it's one from the south and one from the north because of the way the river bends right there.
so um, so yeah, given that knowing that information, it's helpful that I'll just assume I'm looking at a crappy map in the guidebook
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
instead of looking at an actual map on the internet. Um,
yeah.
What's the name of this hospital?
The hospital is called. Hold on, I know the answer to that. As the
Oh, okay.
GM, I know the answer to everything.
well, and you told us I have to go backwards in my notes.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
did. But it's suddenly annoying me that I can't find it. Oh, for the God's sakes.
I've seen Esculapius or whatever, but that I'm guessing that's the island.
Um, the Tiber Island, which is the Isola or Insula Tiberina,
Hmm.
the yeah, Esculapius was the temple of Esculapius, which is the god
Oh,
of
okay.
medicine. Um, the name of the hospital is, good God, where is it? Ah, there it is. The Ospedale di Santo Spirito.
Yeah. I wanted to hear you say, see how you were going to pronounce that thing.
Okay.
Which is literally just what, the hospital of the Holy Spirit?
Yeah,
Isn't
something
that
like.
literally what that means? It's rather generic for Rome, it seems to me.
So how can we stay close to this vehicle and make sure that we know what we're looking at once we get into the hospital, that we're looking at the right stuff?
Well,
Well,
maybe we need to have a disguise.
I think. Well, but I think.
Yeah.
I think the first thing is we got to figure out how we're going to get in the hospital. Are we going to try and get in with subterfuge, past some people? Do we want to break in? If we want to break in, then crossing a bridge in plain sight and then trying to break in might not be a good idea. We might have to get a boat or something to cross the river. Try and get on the island surreptitiously. I don't know. We've depends on our approach, how we want to do it. Don't you think?
Is this a regular? I mean, we know
Yeah,
that this is,
it is an open hospital.
Yeah.
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 Uh, so Slim can
Oh,
just
so
punch me in
so
the nose and we can go to the ER.
so we.
Well,
So yeah,
funny.
so I guess yeah, the plan. It sounds like a good plan would be to go to the we go to the hospital. We could pretend we're visiting somebody or
None of us speak Italian, right?
none of
No.
us. No. All right,
Okay.
who's gonna take the shot in the foot so we can get in the
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
uh, um
Quick aside here. There's a movie called The Gamers, and the wizard is phobic of water. They have to cross a river, so the fighter has to knock the wizard out to get him across the thing, and he punches him in the head and kills him on accident. So that's all I'm thinking about here.
This
Yeah.
must be a first edition Magic user
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
with the D4 hit points, right?
Yeah. Then he
Well,
rolled a 2.
what do you guys think about? What about an ambulance? Ambulance. Uh,
how do we get our hands on an ambulance?
well, that can be arranged, sir.
Well,
We can
I
figure
know
that
you
out.
could probably start one and steal one, but first you have to find one. They're not just
Well,
parked everywhere on the street.
that's fair.
But
That's
I like
fair.
that idea.
And
Um,
we get a couple white coats, and Palacky talks his way in.
but
I'm driving, of course.
but but what if what if uh, what if I use my fancy knife and give myself a cut, say on my left arm or something that requires a couple stitches, so we hustle our butt into the hospital, and then while they're working on me, you guys disappear and work your way through the hospital. Now I know I have the urban stealth, but yeah, the goal would be for you guys. I'm assuming the first place to look might be the morgue.
Well, you're kind of a sick man, sir. You don't need to be cutting on yourself. How about some ketchup or some paint or something?
No, it has to be believable. We got to have a reason for being at the hospital, and I've been cut a million times. A little cut, 2 or 3 stitches, no big deal.
Well, let's just throw you in a black bag, take you to the morgue. We need you in one piece. Certainly not your knife on.
Don't you think it would look a little strange that three men who don't speak Italian, who are obviously not from Italy, are carrying a body in a bag?
Well, I hadn't got that far in the plan.
Well,
I
three of the
like
four
the
of you
idea. I
do
like
speak
the idea
German.
of coming to the hospital like anyone might, and then we basically infiltrate the place, see what we can see, find what we can find.
Well, wait a minute. A couple of us speak German, at least a little bit. What if we put you in one of these bags like they got out there?
Ooh. Ooh. Three of the four of you
Well,
do speak German.
it wouldn't, but the
I mean,
obvious one not to be in the bag is me because
right, right.
I speak perfect German. I would be taken as a German rather than someone who knows how to speak German.
Seeing to be the one to put in the bag.
Seeing how you feel about bags?
You feel about
No, nobody
bags.
puts baby in the bag.
We'll be gentle with you, lad.
Oh, that's funny. That's the funniest thing I've heard in a while.
The guys that were that came out and drove away in the Opal, they were in German uniforms or were they in something else?
No, they were in German uniforms. Ooh, was there? I can't remember if there was a piece of information about that or not. I don't remember if you caught that. Oh shoot. Um, give me a second. I gotta go back and.
What was the question? Uniforms?
Yeah, if
Yeah,
they were dressed as Germans.
yeah. You knew they were dressed in German. That you knew they were in German uniforms. I'm just not quite sure how much information you had on that particular subject.
Well,
Let's see here. I'll see if I can get a quick answer while you guys continue your discussion here.
um,
So how many plans
all
we got?
right.
Two plans right now, right? We got either walk into the ER,
Authors,
just
because
as
there's
just
three
as
of the
normal. We've
Is
got
two together and
put
assume their
Sing in a
bodies. Now,
bag and drive them over
let's
there and
hear.
try to get into the morgue or whatever,
Um,
wherever they're holding
and I'll
these
ask
bodies. And those are the two plans, right? Now,
do
wait a
the.
second.
We'll know
I've
where to
got
locate a truck.
Okay, so they
Guys,
real
wouldn't
quick,
it?
quick interruption.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. They were in German uniforms, and the well, some of them were in Italian uniforms, but obviously there were quite a few in German uniforms, and they did have an odd patch on their uniforms, that of a wolf's paw surrounded by like a tank tread with an eye in the center of the center pad of the paw, and you've
Say,
seen that
Baker,
before.
you
Knocked
think
wolf.
you could sneak down and cut up a couple of these krauts and get them uniforms?
Um, okay. So the question would be, let's think about this. The uniform. If I had a German uniform, preferably an officer's uniform, because no one listens to an enlisted man, unfortunately, even though most of those guys know everything. Um, the
At least an NCO uniform.
oh, that's what I'm. Yeah, but um, so that would uh, give us at least some semblance of authority and allow us to ask where the delivery was made and give us some bona fides to go there. I'm thinking normal hospital people, administrators, nurses, whoever are, as we enter the hospital, we just act with authority and where did they go, and then we go, or at least I do, and then you guys You guys are obviously not Germans. I can look like a German, smell like a German, speak like a German. So I could use that and then we could go where we want to go. Or the other alternate that requires us to go get a uniform, which requires us to take out one of those soldiers. Which Slim, it looks like you're ready. We're rock and roll.
He's wringing his hands
I shouldn't
while you're
say rock
talking,
and roll. Rock and
licking
roll
his
didn't
lips.
exist in 1939. Sorry.
What if
Um,
we just bribe somebody to look left while we go right?
we could do that. Or what if we did another thing, and that is that I use my German and I use my direct abrupt German in command approach and basically say I've just arrived from Berlin, uh, and I'm on staff in Berlin, and I need to see my comrades who brought in the packages from the site. Could I bluster by an Italian person, and a hospital worker, or even bluster by a non-com, or yet enlisted man, German, who might we might meet at the door to the morgue or something?
This sounds great to me, except it centers around getting your hands on an officer's uniform, which seems like a
No,
bit.
if we get no, I'm saying that um, many intelligence officers of the German staff didn't necessarily wear uniforms. They often were
Just wore a
dressed
suit.
impeccably in
Yeah.
suits.
I
Are
think
they
he's
going to ask for
suggesting
credentials,
subterfuge.
or what? How are you going to bluff when he says, show me your papers"?
Well, that's part of the thing is
Tickets,
often
please. Sorry.
yeah.
I get
Um,
that
Yeah,
reference.
that's right. No ticket.
well, we've got a couple ways of doing it. What do we want to do, or do
I
we
mean,
just reconnoiter and see what we're dealing with? Because if it's an open hospital with people there, open hospital with regular patients coming and going and treating people, then we should have pretty good access to the upper floors. I'm afraid I feel like we're overthinking this thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Obviously, we're supposed to go to the hospital and try and check this out, and we use our sneaky wits and
I'm personally a big fan of you guys making a full-on assault on the camp, but that's just
Yeah.
me.
Well, and then we'll play Alien next time.
That's right. Well, that was fun.
I
except Slim left the big bag in the safe house, right?
It's only a fortune point away, baby.
That's right. That's a good T-shirt.
That's a
Your
great
fortune.
Best
T-shirt.
T-shirt ever.
That's a
Yeah.
great T-shirt.
Only one fortune point away.
All right, so let's just decide what we're going to do.
I think going to the hospital and seeing how it develops, doing a ruse about a sprained ankle or something and go to the ER, we're tourists, and then see how disorganized the hospital might be. Maybe if it's disorganized enough, you could just walk with authority. Kyle and I have worked in hospitals, and when my mom was there and at Lutheran General and the place closed down, I couldn't get in to see her after the ambulance took her there.
Yeah.
I just picked up a clipboard and walked with authority, and nobody stopped me.
And they probably called you doctor too.
They probably
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's that type of hospital, we shouldn't have too many problems. If it's a little bit more locked down, then, well, we'll just have to see. What do you think?
But one quick aside on top of that, as spies, or do we have allocation for bribes? How do we, if we needed to
It's
bribe a corrupt official, how would we do
yeah,
that?
because the game doesn't really handle currency. It pretty much just turns into a situation of you're going to make a deceive roll, and if you succeed, if the narrative that you're putting forth is that you're bribing them just to look the other way while you go do something, that's fine. You just set up that narrative and then we make the roll. The game just assumes that your
Okay.
characters have enough currency on them to buy
I'm
things and stuff
totally
like
down
that.
with hand waving bullshit details like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
yeah.
doesn't matter to me. We're spies. We can assume that we have some kind of plan in place
Oh
for
no, that's going to
taking
cost you
advantage of.
one platinum piece, and you only have 3 gold. No.
That's right.
Well, now I have to recalculate my encumbrance. Thank you.
A few another half hour.
See another half hour while I add up all my shit.
Um, yeah, I mean, that sounds reasonable. I mean, another thing I was thinking is, burning a fortune point on assuming that these spies have a cache of German uniforms back at the safe house, but I don't know how we really want to do that or not.
Oh, that's interesting. You have 3 momentum too, and it takes 2 to create a truth. So yeah, that's interesting.
Because I mean, honestly,
It's a good idea, Jim.
we probably would have like German, Russian, Polish, Italian uniforms just kind of sent with us, right? So that we could do our job.
That's
Um,
a cool idea.
well, actually, you can requisition that with requisition points at the beginning of an adventure.
Ah,
So
I
that'll be
see.
something for you guys to consider in the future.
Okay.
But you could do something like that. I'd let you burn 2 points to create a truth that your safe house has like one particular uniform available. I mean, it wouldn't be anything special. It wouldn't be like a Nachtwolf officer
Right.
or anything. But if you needed them to have just a German, a German NCO uniform, I'd let you spend 2 momentum to do that.
I don't know. Every 70s and 80s TV show seemed to have ready access to SS
Yeah,
uniforms.
exactly. SS Oberst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Herr Colonel.
I don't know. I just threw that out there. I don't know if that's a great idea or not, but that solves the problem
Well,
of
the issue we'll always have is Khan sticks out like a sore thumb. Khan
No, no, no,
couldn't
no. It's
necessarily.
okay because I learned that when you're impersonating a German and you have to count on your fingers, you start with your thumb. So we're good. Don't worry about it.
You'll blend right in.
well, I thought he was going to be in
Ah,
the bag.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, touche.
All right, we got lots of ideas.
Nobody puts Babu in the bag. Wait, is
All
it
right, let's
morphing
get
into
on with
something
it.
racist now? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I think I might have turned
All
left
right.
into racist country there. Sorry about that.
Nah, I don't think anybody took it that way.
All right.
And let's be
So we,
blunt, we only get 4 people who
We're
even
still
watch these
standing in the
videos, so
building,
yeah.
harumphing about all this, right?
they've like cleaned up the whole dig site, moved on. Um, yeah. All right. So either we go with the sprained ankle bit and go as civvies, or we just we spend some momentum and pretend to be Germans, which does sound like a lot of fun.
We could always, well, no, I guess we get
Safe and boring, or expend our resources for something exciting and
Well,
fun.
keeping in mind your momentum's going to go away as soon as you guys decide on your course of action anyway. So
Yeah, that's fair.
because
That's fair.
it would be a scene end. So
Oh, this is
What
a
what is
CNN.
the
Okay.
what is the pulpy thing to do here, gentlemen?
I think I think the uniform.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
I mean,
Yeah,
look back to
uniform
Star
is good.
Trek, Hogan's Heroes, look at the A Team. They all had.
All right, let's head back to the safe room, get ourselves some uniforms, and as we leave the building, Slim mutters, I still think the bag was a good idea. Next mission, next mission.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bag, given that
could be a stretcher with a sheet.
these. Well, I was thinking a sheet.
I mean, it sucked to carry a guy on a stretcher with a sheet for 3 kilometers, but
Oh, we're not going to do that. What we would do is we would walk until we got relatively close, and then we'd wrap him up in a sheet and carry him like he's a body. I'm not, you know, he's got 2 perfectly good legs. He can use them till we get close by. Um, all right, so okay, so germs it is.
okay.
I love this.
Um, okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure how Khan would look in a German uniform.
Well, we have to figure something out for that.
Well, um, yeah, you guys can figure something out for that. So you head back to the to your safe house, which is just a couple kilometers away, one and a half, something like that. It's not far. Uh, talk to uh, talk to whom you need to talk to use your to get the truth to get the uniform. So and then the plan is you're just going to make your way down to the hospital.
Yeah. So since I have the best German, um, I should do most of the talking. Basically, what part of the hospital do we want to enter? Well, we're
Let me ask you this question, gentlemen.
yeah.
Um, do you want to come to the island via the southern bridge or the northern bridge?
Probably from the side of the dig site, right? So
Well,
the
see,
Yeah.
that's
northern.
funny. If you look at a map of the way the Tiber bends, you can literally, from where you guys are, you could literally go to either way in pretty much the same amount of time. Just doing it from the northern side means you do have to cross the river one time, but it's distance wise, it's about the same.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we came from the dig site, it would be from the north. From the prison, it would be from the south, right?
Yeah, that's a very true statement.
All right. So, I mean, we have an excuse either way from whichever direction. I don't know if they have a guards or something, but uh, does anyone have any preference here? I don't know if there's any information that makes me choose one or the other.
No, just you got a map and you know those are the two ways to get to it.
No, our
So
our goal is to boldly go into the hospital and
I understand. I just need to know which bridge you cross.
yeah. I'm
There's mines on one, and we got a 50-50 shot.
all right. Hold on
Um,
a second. The dig site. Let's go upstream a little bit on this map here.
The dig site is literally just west of the castle.
Right, and the castle is on that northern is on the north. It's on the west bank, but really it's
A northern edge of the river,
a
because the way
northern
the
edge of
river
the twist
bends.
in the
Yeah,
river. So it seems to me they've literally could do it either way. They could go along the west bank and then cross the southern bridge, or they could go down. They could cross over early and go down the east bank and cross the northern bridge. So um, for us, if we went to our safe house, um, all right, somebody flip a coin and just decide. I don't think it matters, north or
Already
south.
did, and it said heads, which means north.
Okay,
so
all
you're
right.
all right.
all
So
right, so,
so you're crossing from the north.
right.
Okay. Um, so the bridge that crosses over the Tiber is a big old heavy stone bridge. It, just one of these old heavy stone European bridges. As you cross over from the northern side, there's no traffic. The hospital's a four-story building, and the the road, as you come over the bridge, the road continues straight across the hospital and then to another bridge that crosses to the southern side. Um, there's a blocking half of that side of the bridge is a large looming shape that there's not a lot of light, but it your reaction is it looks like there's a tank on that side of the bridge, on the southern bridge. The hospital
Hell
it's
yeah.
I knew that'd make him happy. The hospital itself is there's an open side. Facing the road. There's enough parking for a handful of cars. Obviously, it's widespread parking was probably not considered when this hospital was built centuries ago. But and there, it is well lit. At least the bottom two levels or the first two floors. The upper lower floors, lighting is intermittent from different windows, but the bottom is definitely well lit, and it seems to be wide open. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people here, but there's no soldiers or guards or police or anything outside. Inside, there's you see a person walking by a window here or there, that type of thing. Um, the like I said, the front of the building is very well lit. Of course, the building doesn't take up the entire island, so there are paved pathways that wrap around the sides of the building as well. You can see that from here.
In that tank area out front that's not manned, or
Well, it's like I said, it's down the southern bridge. So as you're crossing
oh, I
over the
see,
northern bridge and coming up to the island, you can see it. It's about a quarter mile away.
I see.
And Yeah, I mean, any other information than that, you'd be looking at making an observation roll.
Okay.
So, do we walk straight in the hospital and bust our way in, gentlemen, or into where we want to go, or do we walk around the outside and look for some other path of ingress? If they came in a truck with those bodies,
My guess is that
wouldn't they want to drive up someplace?
yeah, they would probably take the South Bridge, whatever the tank is guarding is along that road. Right? So maybe they came in on the South Bridge, and so if we go around the building and check out, I mean, this place has to be guarded well, though. I mean, if they got a tank sitting out there, they probably have guards roaming or standing or something.
As you guys approach, you hear shouting in German. And following where the shouts are coming from, uh, down by the tank, there are two soldiers in German uniforms coming your way. They're they're calling for you guys.
Well,
That answers that question.
Boy,
We better make a
uh,
decision. We're in or we're out.
here we go.
what are they? What are they? What are they
Uh,
saying exactly?
Demanding what your purpose is.
What's the situation with Sing here? Are you full? Sikh on top, German on bottom. Is that what's happening?
Well, I mean, they did have troops from all over the world wearing
Okay.
fezzes and stuff. You know what I mean? I remember
Sure,
seeing
sure.
pictures of like some
Yeah,
SS
especially in
detachment
Africa and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
from
I mean, they
the Ottoman Empire. They had
they
like
they had allies in Tibet, and I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see how
yeah.
that plays out.
I could just be a
Okay.
quote unquote researcher.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Baker.
All right.
You're on, man.
Showtime.
um, so it's there's three, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the German ranks, obviously, but it's basically two privates and a sergeant.
Okay, and what's my rank?
Oberschnitzel, I believe.
Oberschnitzel.
Oberschnitzel.
You know what? You guys had talked about, and you didn't really establish it when you established the truth, but you had talked about, uh, you guys had talked about that a little bit. So I mean, I'll just give it to you. I'll put you in a I'll put you in a sergeant rank.
Okay, well, that's what I was assuming because you said you would allow an NCO. So,
I did. I did. And I would assume since Baker was kind of the guy you guys were looking at for this, that he would be the one in that uniform. Unless anyone wants to object to that. Seeing the guy who doesn't speak German could be the NCO.
Yeah. Now we're
Seems
only
like a bad
the
idea.
only person that's in uniform is Baker, right? Because we only get one uniform. Is that correct?
No, I gave you guys a cache of uniforms.
Yeah.
Oh, cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest of you
Okay.
guys are just privates, though.
Got it.
Um, so the German the Germans approach you. The NCO he's doing the talking. The other two guys are carrying MP40s, and the sergeant looks at the four of you. Probably gives Khan a little bit of a hairy eyeball, and then just simply asks, "What are you doing here? What are your orders?"
Uh, there was a recent delivery from the site, and we were ordered to come and provide assistance. We have some special expertise with us.
All right. Well, that's simple enough. That's simple enough. So it sounds like it's time for the first roll of the day.
All right.
Dun, dun,
That's
dun.
right.
First
Uh,
roll's always bad, though.
All right.
well, you said it, not me. So
Let me,
this would
before I
be.
get carried away, let me look at my talents.
Oh, good call.
Okay, so my subtle cues under persuasion allows me to reduce the cost of my first D20 I purchased to 0.
Amazing.
So you get three D20s
I
for
get
free.
3 D20s. So let me go back to main part of my sheet. So I'm assuming that I am doing a
It'd be a will persuasion
yep
with
with 3
deceive
dice.
if you have it.
I do. So let's give her a shotter, huh? Will dice is 3. Ding. Relevant skill is persuasion. Bonk.
I love the sound effects.
A focus does apply. Difficulty.
One. Started you with an easy one, and you still barely succeeded. You you
Nice.
you did succeed. Now you also have a complication. What's really terrifying about that is it's your bonus die that got the complication.
Oh man.
I'm all right. That's fine. Um, he yeah, he nods and he points around the side of the building. He says the deliveries are in the back, and
Oh wow. That's all we needed to
Is
do.
that a cliche?
and he looks at his men and says, "Come on." They go back over to the tank.
Okay. Let's do it, men.
Uh, so as you walk around the side of the as you start to walk around the side of the or not start to but as you walk around the side of the building, it gets darker. There's not a lot of light over this way. Very few windows, at least windows that are lit. And there's certainly no street lamps or that type of thing. You come around the back of the hospital.
Marty, on the way, can I scope out the tank with observation?
Absolutely, inside observation.
Okay. I just want to see what the general setup is here, just to kind of, if we need to.
Yeah, you go right ahead, sir.
Leave the attempt.
Exfiltrate.
All right, inside observation. Okay.
Difficulty one. I don't know if. I mean, I guess if you have a. And hold on one second.
Oh,
let
oops.
me before you make that roll.
I
I
made
would
it
Too late.
I
already.
would well here
Sorry.
I'll let you decide which way if you want to keep that roll or if you want to do this instead. I would
Okay.
also let you do an insight vehicles with tanks. If
Don't mind if I do.
okay,
All right.
I should have said that before you made the roll. That's my fault.
No, no, not at all. All right. So let's see. Two dice, vehicles, focus applies. Yes. Difficulty one. Bam.
All right. So you had two successes, so you actually picked up a momentum from that. So
Okay.
yeah, it is a standard Panzer One.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Um,
Okay.
not it's certainly a
where they
tank.
throw the bullets.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
It's just a baby. A
yeah,
Panzer One's just a baby.
it
So
really
cute.
is.
So cute, little puppy.
It's it's got a little bit of armor enough to protect you from normal weapons fire, obviously, and has no main gun. Its guns are twin MG-34s and a turret, which against infantry I guess would be kind of nasty. Most Panzer ones, I mean, even in 1939, most Panzer ones are relegated to training. So, but
Okay. Good to know.
yep,
Are they? Are you? Are
three
we
man.
without out of earshot of these Germans?
Oh yeah. Three-man
All right.
vehicle as well, if just so you guys know.
All right. Uh, Slim gives like the sort of tactical overview here, and he says, "Well, I'll drive. One of you's going to have to walk, I guess."
Sure, you could ride on the
Let,
tank.
let me guess who that's going to be. Let's just pretend that it's going to go to a vote, and it's just a,
He snickers. It's funny.
All right. You come around the back of the hospital, and the pavement goes down a recessed ramp, or a ramp that it. God, sorry, my words are struggling today. Um, Kind of like a loading dock. The ramp goes down below ground level, and there's a loading dock with a set of double doors that are closed. There is one electric street lamp here that is running, providing just enough light. There's an Opel truck backed up against the loading area. The door, like I said, the doors are closed, and there is one soldier standing there carrying a rifle outside the doors.
Well, I guess.
Is it a lowly private?
Yeah.
All right. I'll walk up to him and say, "Oh, I'll walk up to him. Does he see us as we approach,
That's a
or do
very
I catch
valid
him a little
question.
bit by surprise?"
Oh no! As you guys come around the corner of the building, he looks right at you.
Okay, I'll walk up to him very direct. Private, this appears to be the truck. Is this where the delivery was made?
Uh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Uh, we have orders uh, to help inspect the packages, shall we say?
He shifts uncomfortably. Make your roll, please. Will with persuasion with your deceive focus. Does that talent work every time you make a persuasion roll?
Yeah. Well, um, it appears to. Yeah.
What's that talent called?
It's called.
I'm
Dun,
just
dun, dun,
I'm just gonna
dun.
look it up real quick. I,
It's called subtle cues. You're
Subtle
good at
cues.
knowing what people are thinking, spotting all those little cues that give away in their posture and gestures and tone of voice. And
Very
you're
cool.
good at taking those cues as well.
Hmm.
Okay. It does say if I spend some time conversing or observing someone, when you make the persuasion test, then you may reduce the cost of the first D20 you
Yeah,
purchased
I'm
to
not
do
going to
it.
get too in the weeds of it, but yeah, okay, that's fine. So
All right.
if you want to roll your third die, you can do that. It won't cost you anything.
All right. So we start this again. Let's see. Will. All right.
Very good. With point of momentum, put you guys to two. Um, he nods. Uh, Yabuaman Kapitan. Um, and which was not German, but some hodgepodge or something. And he steps back and he opens the door and uh,
Well, I've not been to this facility before. Which way did they go?
he says straight down the hall. Morgue's first door on the right.
Let's go, gentlemen. And I
All
start
right.
walking down the hall.
All right.
And in my best soldier fashion, I follow. Most performative. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys walk into the hospital, and the it's rather dimly lit. Dimly lit. You're a level below the ground floor. Well, no, wait a minute. No, you're on the ground floor. I'm sorry. The way it would work, yeah, you're on the ground floor. That's my apologies. But the place is not very well lit at all. But the hallway's wide. It's a double or triple wide hallway, probably for the being able to transport uh, gurneys or stretchers and whatnot going either direction without mucking up the works. The You reach a door on the right side that is closed. It is also a set of double doors. Has something stenciled across it, which none of you can read because you don't speak Italian. Uh, which will, anytime I say that, I immediately think of Inglorious Bastards. Yeah,
Well, I have a question. Given
please.
that Italian is a Romance language, and there are some similarities, not to German, but uh, there are some similarities to English words, is there the possibility of discerning what the word might mean,
Well, that's a really interesting question.
considering that it has Latin roots, I'm sure?
It's funny because I've listened to a playthrough of this particular. Um, in this particular instance, no.
Okay.
But I've listened to a playthrough of this exact mission where they didn't have anyone who spoke Italian, but they did have one character that spoke Latin, and he just walked around to everyone speaking Latin to them, and then acting like they were the morons because they didn't understand him.
That's hilarious.
That's amazing.
Okay. So it's a double doors
Yep,
with a stenciled on it, no windows.
no windows, basic doorknob.
Okay. Do we see any light
Yes,
under the
there
door?
is. There is very dim light under the crack in the under at the bottom of the doorway and where the two doors meet.
Well, how do we want to play this, guys? Do we all just open the door and all four of us barge in, or maybe maybe I open the door and poke in and see what I see first?
Probably the better of the two choices. And you can
Yeah,
walk in if they notice you right away. You could walk in with authority and maybe distract them, and then we can follow behind. If there's only a couple, we can subdue them or not.
or maybe we won't have to, but
Right?
okay. All right, so that's how we'll play it. Um, if I turn the doorknob, is it locked?
No,
All right, so I'll turn the doorknob and I'll enter the room
All right.
like I belong there.
You come into a wide, dimly lit room. There are about there's 10 metal tables. Six of them have forms on them with sheets draped over them, completely obscuring them from view. There are several desks, including off to one side a setup of microscopes. There's three men in the room who look up at you when you walk in. Two of them are German soldiers. The third is wearing an impeccable suit with a leather trench coat.
Oh,
And when you walk in, Gotthold Fuchs says,
Holy!
Oh shit.
Herr Baker, how nice of you
God
to
damn
join
it.
us. Take
Here we
him,
go.
he says to the two men, and they start walking towards you.
Oh boy!
It's on. Roll for initiative.
It is on. Yes.
Like
So
Donkey Kong.
now you know what your complication was.
I swing the doors wide open so the guys can see,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I will.
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
combat essentially. So
Remember me, Fuchs?
I love this.
I am going to spend a point of threat actually and take the initiative from you guys. Fuchs pulls a pistol and aims it at Baker, but that's all he does. Who wants to go first, and what do they want to do?
So doors are open.
Yep.
How many
He's
bad guys?
flung
There are two plus Fuchs.
All right. Do I play it smart or do I play it slim?
There's only one answer to that question. You know.
That's right.
All right. So doors fling open. Does Slim see Fuchs?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Everybody sees everybody. I
Everybody
imagine.
sees everybody.
Eyes wide, and Slim runs straight at him, straight at his aimed gun, like he's gonna like bull rush him and tackle him.
All right. All right. So yeah. So let me.
Are we doing this simultaneously or are we?
Well, no. It's
Okay.
Yeah. One player gets to go first. Let me switch a page on my little notepad here. Give me 1 second here so that I can uh, keep track of this. I've never integrated like bad guy character sheets into this. Um, it's just frankly I just find it faster to do it by hand. All right, so so you can move as one action. Then for your main action, you're going to try to tackle him. Is that the idea?
I mean, if you can close the distance, I
Oh
just thought he was.
yeah. No, I mean you're just moving into the next zone. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's tackle him.
All right, so you're going to make. I would think this would be an agility fighting.
Okay.
Do you have melee as a? And it's going to be contested. So just roll as difficulty 0.
Okay.
Do you have melee as a?
I do not.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
All right. Agility, fighting, no focus, difficulty 0.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because it'll be contested.
Gotcha.
All right, so you you actually rolled no successes.
Boy.
It shows as a success because the difficulty 0. Unfortunately, Fuchs had 2 successes, which
boy.
means not only does he defend your bull rush, but he actually inflicts melee damage on you. Which I think that's just going to be an improvised hit from his pistol.
Okay.
Which you take 3 stress damage.
Okay.
And do you have armor? I don't know if you have armor or not. You probably do.
I've got one armor.
Yeah, so you take two then.
Two. Okay. So he bops me on the head
He
while
bops
I'm.
you on the head as you
Okay.
try to get him. All right, so that was one of you moves. So the bad guys get to move. I'm going to say that Fuchs was Fuchs moved. I'm sorry. But you did do one thing. Fuchs was aimed at Baker. So on his next move, he was going to take an aim shot at Baker, and I feel like you disrupted that. Just narratively
Cool beans.
speaking. But that's okay. A trooper. Fuchs didn't say kill him. He said take him. So I think a trooper is going to try to take Mr. Baker here. Physically speaking, he's going to try to grapple him, and he has two successes. Mr. Baker, because he's trying to subdue you physically, you get to resist. You will
Okay.
make an agility fighting roll, and if you have a melee focus, it counts. You need two successes to be successful.
Okay.
One success, no good. So this trooper has come to you, and he's wrestling with you. He's trying to get your hands behind your back, but he's being successful. You are effectively grappled at this point. You can't do anything until you can break free from him.
This is going well.
Right.
Who wants to go second?
Me.
Okay,
So,
Mr. Pilecki.
Fuchs, remind me, Fuchs, is he the big scary guy that has all the magic
No,
stuff?
No,
no, no, no,
No,
no.
that's not him.
he's the he's the sleazy
Yeah, he's the slime ball.
He's
slime
a
ball guy
slime ball. That's right. Okay.
who ran away most of the time.
That's right. He's the guy that ran
Just like
away.
Brave Sir
Okay.
Robin.
So, uh, I've had Luca with me this whole time, and I am going to launch the firm missile at the guy who's grappling Baker.
Oh, amazing.
Ooh, I like it.
Amazing.
I like
Yeah.
it.
So the way that this works, that what I see here, it works just like an NPC.
Yeah.
Skills and focuses, athletics two, fighting two. She gets the attack is a bite, which is agility plus fighting,
Yep.
hand-to-hand combat. And I don't know what does a three with the Cthulhu face
That
mean?
means it does 3 damage dice.
Three damage dice. Okay,
Yep.
got it. And special rules, grasping. So yeah, I can grasp also. I
Yeah,
don't know what that means.
if it has any effects on the damage dice, it'll basically latch on to them.
Okay. So yeah, I don't.
So yeah,
I
so
With
guess
big
I got.
pointed teeth.
Yep. So I don't know
what's
what to
the
roll here.
agility plus fighting?
Agility plus fighting. Agility is 11. Uh,
Jesus.
yeah, I know. Fighting is 2.
So it's a 13 total.
But while the dog's owner remains in the scene, the dog gains plus 2 courage. Okay, so that won't affect that
No,
though.
I won't affect that.
So it's 11 plus the 2, so 13, right?
Yeah, yeah. Does he have any focuses in fighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, skill and focus, fighting 2. But that's already
Okay,
rolled
that's
in
it. So just roll 2d20,
2d20s.
and you're looking for 13 or less on either die.
Okay, how do I just roll?
Use the die roller bottom icon left side of the screen. It's the easiest thing to do.
Okay, bottom icon left side. Where?
It looks like a 20-sided die.
You say it's on my character sheet?
No, no, no. Just on the roll 20 left side of the screen.
Oh, I
Over.
see. I
Yep, yep,
see.
yep.
Okay, so 2d20, right?
Yep.
Uh,
All right. So you had one success. So roll on your character sheet. You should have a button somewhere that just says damage dice. I think it's at the top right.
yeah,
All right. So just roll that, and it'll ask you for how many dice. Roll 3.
got it.
Wow, 4 damage with an effect. Look at that.
Wow.
All right.
Awesome.
Does this guy have armor? Oh shoot, I'm looking at the wrong bad guy.
Was the effect from the 1 or the 6?
From the 6.
The 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the 1 just does 1 damage. The 6 does 1 damage plus the effect. So this guy does have 1 armor, so he takes 3 damage. Um, so your dog takes a chunk out of this guy. Probably, I think jumps and latches onto the guy's arm, and he's got blood just pouring through, soaking his
Amazing.
uniform, and the
Nice.
dog is latched onto his arm.
Excellent.
He's
Baker, finish him off.
shouting "Scheisse, Scheisse." Um, so I think because of that, I think Fuchs just because talking is free. Fuchs just shouts in German, "Kill them." So the other guy is going to. Guess we're going to do a D6 and ignore a 6, and we'll go from left to right with the dog being number 5. Number 2, he shoots at Khan. He he
Well, he's getting in the body bag one way or another.
He didn't do anything. He was just standing there. He didn't do a thing.
Doesn't matter.
shoots
There's a value scale in place. I'm starting to suspect.
shoots his MP40 at Khan, and
Oh boy.
MP40. Oh no. Oh, shit. Come on.
unfortunately, he sprays bullets and hits nobody.
Ooh.
Wow.
Stormtroopers.
All right, so let's see who has not acted so far. Khan and Baker.
Right.
Who wants to go next?
Well, um, well, for me, he grappled me, and I couldn't do anything till the grapple was broken. Did the dog break the grapple,
Um,
or am I still grappled?
technically you're still grappled, but I am. If you want to make your action to break the grapple,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna make it. It's going to be 0 difficulty, so you can either just do it or you can roll to try to gain momentum.
Our momentum is currently 2 or
Correct.
3. 2. Um. All right. Let me try and gain some momentum here. So let
All right.
me.
So because you're grappled now, it's brawn fighting instead of
Okay.
agility, and difficulty 0. I mean, because I'm sorry, I can't imagine that this guy's going to try to keep hanging you on when he's got this, vicious dog chewing up his arm. One success, which gives you guys a point of momentum, so you're at 3. But your action breaks through the grapple, not a problem. You do technically have a minor action available to you.
Would a minor action be aiming your pistol? Does that give you anything?
It would if he had his pistol out. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't.
Yeah. So
So
you could move.
I
Or
can
you,
use my minor action to move or to pull a weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, well, since the gunshots cat is out of the bag already, I'll uh, I'll pull my pistol for the next round.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. And then I've got one more guy to move. You guys hear the door at
Does
the end of the hallway to the outside slam open as the private from outside comes in.
so Mark, hold on one sec.
Yeah.
Me launching Luca, does that count as my
Oh, you know
action?
what?
Because that's an NPC,
That's an
right? So,
NPC. So, no, you would still have your action left.
because what I was gonna say is, uh, let's lock that door before it slams open and some guy comes in. That was actually my next move, was to run over there and lock the
All right, I'll let you do
outside
that.
door.
I'll let you do that. Sure.
Is that okay? I'm
Yeah.
totally not metagaming this. That was actually what I
No,
planned
you're
on
right. We
doing.
kind of, when you said you were going to do that with the dog, we just kind of skipped over your move. So you're right. No, that's fine. You can do that. Absolutely. So as you run down to the door and throw the lock on the inside, yeah, you you feel the door. You feel a bang up against the door as the guy outside is obviously trying to get in. Um,
Nice. Thanks for
Amazing.
that.
so, all right, which brings us to Sing is left, I believe.
Yeah, Khan hasn't done anything yet.
Yep. All right, I'm going to cast a spell.
Was
Oh
just
boy.
Hell
minding his
yeah.
own business and he got shot at.
You shoot at me, fools!
So
Do you
you're
not
going
see the
to.
power arrayed before thee?
Oh boy. So yeah, that means you use your minor action to prepare, and then what are you casting, sir?
I'm casting Spear of Indra,
And
the
ooh,
same spell that I shot Fuchs with before that he lived through.
Amazing.
So let's see if we get some poetic justice or poetic irony.
who are you targeting with your spear
Oh,
of Indra?
Fuchs! I must shoot Fuchs, of course.
And you have 3 momentum.
Yes. So
What's
can
the
I
difficulty on spear of Indra? Is it 3 or is it 2?
3?
3. Ooh.
Yeah, it's not easy. I think I would like to use some of the momentum if the party is amenable to this.
Do it.
You help yourself.
I thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
you can use 1 to get 1 die, or you could
Yep.
use all 3 to get 2.
I believe I will use 1 for 1 die, and if it hits, I will use the rest to add the intense effect.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Look
Try
at
to
you.
kill
Amazing.
this son bitch.
Look at you
Not
go.
exactly in character.
No, I'm sorry. I will kill this Omsaha Navabatu. Take that. Shall I roll?
Yes, please.
Yes. All right, here we go. Dice 2.
3.
Focus.
3. 3.
Whoa,
You bought an
That's
extra one.
right. That's right. That's right. Glad you caught that. Focus, yes.
Come on,
And
buddy.
difficulty 3. Oh,
Oh.
Oh,
brutal.
so close.
Oh no.
Fuck.
First roll of the day.
Now,
Listen, I don't want to be.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Did we ever say that fortune could be spent after the fact? Was that something we looked into? Kyle, didn't you say we were doing
Oh boy.
something like that
fortune
one
can
once?
be used to re-roll any number of dice in the character's dice pool.
Guess what?
So you can spend a fortune point if you want to. Obviously, you would just want to re-roll the one that was the 17, I guess, because the other 2 were successes.
Sure. I will spend
Wait a
one of
minute.
my.
Hold on. Don't do anything. Hold on just a minute.
Okay,
Let me look at your character sheet for a second, because
please do.
this spell uses the fighting skill, doesn't it?
I really don't know if that's true. I don't know.
I can tell you. Give me one. Yeah,
Oh, it
uses
does
the
skill
skill.
fighting. Oh,
So
okay.
okay,
Bummer.
I was just
Bummer.
making sure the character sheet didn't screw something up. But your fighting skill's a 2, so it'd have to be a 2 or less to get a double success. So anyway, that's fine. If you want to spend a fortune point to re-roll that d20 that missed, be my guest.
Yeah, let me just take care of notating that. So I used 1 fortune point.
And
Okay.
it'd probably be easier just to roll a single d20 from the left side of the screen, from the dice roller.
Sure. Let's do that. D20.
Oh.
Man, look at you.
Oh.
All right. So not only were you successful, you bumped up your momentum to 3. So,
Wow.
Amazing.
Go Con. Go Con.
so
You
you
got
got
this.
3 momentum. So your momentum spends available on this spell are to do what?
Well, I can either. I guess the party can help me decide. But I was thinking going with intense versus vicious. I can add intense for 2 or vicious for 2.
Well, for intense to work, your spell has to do a wound worth of damage, meaning it has to do at least 5 stress. So
I see.
it may not, whereas
Vicious
vicious
adds stress per effect.
it
though, I
adds
think.
exactly, it adds a pointed stress damage per effect rolled. How much damage does your spell do?
Whoops. You're flipping through my sheet when I'm flipping through my
Oh, I'm
sheet.
sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Where does it say that? It inflicts +2 physical stress with piercing 3 effect. I don't know. I don't know where it says.
Oh, it's just your spell power. So you would roll 5d6.
But that means you'd have to get on those 5 dice. You'd have to get for a wound. You need 5 stress.
Correct. Which, let me pull real quick because we have not cast the spell a lot, and I just want, this is your flavoring of the Spear of Lug, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
It does power plus 2, so your power is 5, so you get 7d6.
Whew.
Ho, 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 ho.
So if you were to spend 2 to get the vicious effect, then that means you would do 2 points of damage on any d6 that rolled a 2, a 5, or a 6. Or
You're kind of selling it, but go ahead. Please
Or
continue.
you can spend 2 to get the vicious effect, which means your total
You mean intense?
76. The intense effect,
Right.
which means your total 76 has to get at least 5 damage. So a 1, 5, or 6 gets you 1 point, or a 2 gets you 2 points. You'd have to get a total of 5. If that happens, you will inflict 2 wounds on Fuchs. But if you roll really well with the vicious effect, you might do 2 wounds on Fuchs anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to say what's better. I guess maybe vicious is a little bit more of a sure thing. I don't know. Hard to say.
Well, it seems like on intense, you're taking a bigger risk of not
Not doing anything, right?
Now,
not well not getting the effect.
the key to this is to have 4 momentum and use both and just obliterate somebody. But
Right.
but you only have 3, so it's a moot point.
Your call, man.
I think I'll go with vicious in retrospect.
All right.
More of a sure thing. I don't know. It's probably the wrong choice, but
No, I don't know
gotta
that
pick
there is
something.
right or wrong. So yeah, you're going to want to roll your no problem. You're going to need to roll the power die up at the top of the character sheet on the spell screen. And I believe it gives you a dialogue box that says number of dice, and it defaults to 5.
Yes.
Up that
Yes.
to 7 because of the.
Okay. All right. Here goes.
4 stress with 2 effects, so that means you did a total of 6 damage to Fuchs. Now, your spell has piercing 3, does it not?
It does indeed.
Alright, so armor's not a thing. So you did. Jesus. So you did 6 damage to Fuchs, which causes a wound automatically.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ouch.
I gotta ask,
Ouch.
what does this look like when this thing
What
like
does it
rockets
look
out?
like?
Yeah.
Well, in the past, we said it was a beam of white hot light, and it emanates from within Khan. So temporarily, his eyes, nostrils, mouth all glow white as the beam shoots from his hand.
Well, maybe that would probably cause Fuchs to crap his pants.
Fuchs is struck by this, and he shouts something unintelligible as it knocks him back. And we said it's white hot light, so does it burn his clothes? I think it burns his clothes, or at least burns away part of his clothes where he struck him. And
Amazing.
he is. Yeah, that hurt. That was nasty. That was downright.
He gets +2 physical stress, so hopefully that messes him up a little for the next guy.
Yeah. Now, you got to roll your costs, sir.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. There
What-
is no
is
free
there a
lunch.
button for that? It's
Nah,
cost
just
5.
just roll the damage dice at the top.
Okay.
And your cost is 5, so it'll just whatever 5 dice is. Okay, wow, no effects. Look at that. So you took 4 stress damage. You did
Wow.
take 4 stress damage, but you had no effects. That's impressive. That is impressive.
And that's just 4 X's in the white boxes,
You
right?
got it. You
Yep.
got it, man.
All right.
All right. I have to.
So he took 2 wounds?
No, he only took 1 because you did 6
Took 1, okay.
damage. You got to do at least 5 to cause a wound.
That's right.
So how do you determine the wound?
in this case, because he's an NPC,
Is it I mean, a wound is specific, right?
a wound is specific. Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
so
Now,
there's like a table of stuff, or you
yeah,
roll or something.
yeah. In this case, because it's a magical attack, I don't think it has a specific. I don't think it has. I think in this case, it's just a scorching burn in his chest where the spear struck him, where it's burned through his clothes. It does have an effect on his rolling.
Okay.
So, wow, top of the round. Top of the round. I'm going to steal initiative from you again. I'm going to burn a point of threat. And Fuchs has found himself a new threat. He doesn't like this guy that does magical stuff. So he is going to fire his Walther.
Do we smell something burning?
Yeah, probably. He's going to fire his Walther PPK at Khan. He's going to aim for a minor action, which, and then he's going to fire. Aiming lets him re-roll 1d20 when he makes an attack this turn. So let's see what happens. Okay, well he had one success. He's going to re-roll that 15 because he can,
Oh.
and no good. So he hit Khan. Khan, no complications even with his injury. Ooh. Oh well, it's mostly 3s and 4s. Khan, you took 3. You got winged by the Walther. You took 3 stress damage.
Gotcha.
That could have been much
And-
worse.
And would
Count takes it
would
stoically.
armor reduce the stress?
Yeah, if he has any armor, I don't know if you have any armor. Khan.
I am armor 0.
Your armor 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so, oh wait a minute. We screwed up.
did.
I'm sorry. Let's back up a second. You took 4 stress damage from your spell, but there were no effects. Do you have courage?
I have a courage of 4.
So you took no damage from your spell.
Oh, sweet.
So give yourself
Oh,
4
wow.
of your boxes back. See, that's the That's the danger to the spell. If he had rolled 1 effect on his cost, it would have had piercing, and it would have reduced his courage from the standpoint of taking damage from the spell. So, yeah, okay. So we missed that. That's because we haven't done a lot of combat. This is only our
Okay,
second
let me.
combat, I think.
How many did he just do to me? He did 2
He
or
did
3
3.
to me? 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay,
Very
I'm
good.
good.
So now you're back to where you're supposed to be. All right. Who wants to go first?
I'm going to, if I can, unless someone else wants to interject, I'm going to grab like an autopsy tray, like one of those metal trays off the table, and swing it right into Fuchs as he's shooting.
All right.
I can hear that in my head.
Like all the shit, like going
Bong.
everywhere.
Yeah.
We'll call that. I would think that would be agility with fighting. I don't know if you have a melee weapon focus. You probably don't.
Just a distinction between agility and brawn. Does that?
In this particular instance, actually, I'm sorry. It would be coordination, not agility. My
Oh.
mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coordination fighting.
Coordination fighting.
Okay. All right. 2 dice, relevant skill fighting. No focus, difficulty. Is that opposed?
1. No, it's not opposed.
Oh, okay, difficulty 1. All right.
All right. So you were successful with a point of momentum, and this would be an improvised weapon. What is your brawn?
My brawn is 9.
Is 9. So roll 3 damage dice for me.
Okay.
And this would have the stun effect if you roll any effects.
All right. So what is this? 3d6 then?
Yeah,
Or-
you can just hit the damage dice button at the top right of your character sheet if you want.
Top. Oh, damage dice. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
3 damage dice.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. 2 damage and a stun effect. Um, so he is. You bang him with this tray, and he's got the little birdies going around his head. Um,
Awesome.
all right. Trooper being attacked by dog is going to pull out his knife and try to stab Luca.
Whoa, whoa,
And
whoa.
that
Stabbing the dog.
I think that is successful. Well, it's fortunately it's just a knife. It doesn't do a whole lot. He did 2 damage to Luca. Yarp.
Jim had to step
Okay.
away, I think. So.
No, I just came back. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
He just crossed the line, that guy.
Yeah, what's Christy Gnome just stabbed Luca? Is that right?
He's about to go John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Who wants to go next?
Luca will probably go next.
Okay.
Not appreciating being stabbed. So,
Rip his arm
uh,
off, Luca.
does Luca have two? She's got 5 stress boxes. So, how do I track her damage?
Maybe just on a piece of paper.
No. I mean, like, what's since we don't do fighting,
You completely broke up.
since we don't do a lot of fighting, is the injury? I mean, so explain to me. She took 2,
She
right?
took 2 stress damage, which does not cause an injury.
Okay, she
Yep.
would have to take 5 stress damage to cause an injury. Is that
Or
right?
run out of stress, one of the 2.
I see. Okay, so I got it. Okay, so she's got 2. All right, and that's not affecting her at all in
No.
her
No, not
abilities.
at
All
all.
right, so she's just gonna go right for his neck.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's just was it coordination fighting,
It is
or was it agility fighting for her? It was agility fighting for her.
yeah, agility and fighting. So that's 13.
Yep.
Yeah, 13. So I roll
You can just roll
2
2d20. Yeah.
2d20. Yeah, right. Sorry, I'm
All
got
good.
pulled out of the game and I'm a little disoriented here. Okay, so 2d20. Come on, let's get. So now, again, the lower the number, the better. Correct.
Correct. Yep.
Right, and a 1 and a 2 are critical.
Uh,
19 and
yeah. In this case, in her case, a one's a critical. Anything
okay,
13 or less is a success.
got it. Okay, so
2
she
successes.
2 successes. Yeah.
You guys are up to 3 momentum. What does the bite do damage wise? Is it 4? It's 3 or 4. I don't remember.
Sorry, I got pulled out of the game and now I can't reorient. Yeah, it's 3.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want, you can just roll 3 damage dice off the character sheet.
Got it. Those. Come on, look up. Take his fucking neck off.
2 stress. This is the trooper that originally tried to subdue Baker,
Hey, hey.
and was already bleeding profusely from the attack on his arm. So yeah, she leaps at his throat and buries her maw into his throat. He goes down gurgling. Um,
Excellent.
yep. All right, so Luca went next. So
Luca's an NPC, right?
Luca's an NPC.
So does that mean we still have a player character turn, or is it the other guy's turn?
It's the other guy's turn. It's still
Okay.
it's still an allied.
It's our
character.
side,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I think the guy outside is going to try to bust through the door.
I would.
And that was pretty impressive on his part. That actually generates 2 momentum for him, so I'm going to feed that into damage dice. A total of 6 damage. So, yeah, he puts his weight behind him with a mammoth kick. He kicks in that door. The lock snaps and breaks as he enters the hallway right next to Pilecki.
Awesome. Can I trip him?
No, it's whomever's turn at this point. Who's left to go? Khan, Baker, and Pilecki. Is that right?
Correct.
Who wants to go? There's
I'll go.
okay.
My move is Go ahead.
There's one trooper in the morgue with you, as well as
Correct. He's the
Phoebus,
one who sprayed bullets everywhere.
and missed. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to aim
Okay.
my pistol and fire
At
at that guy.
at that guy. Okay. Very good.
I can't have him spraying bullets all over the place, although theoretically he'd have to reload, I would think. But that's an action. Okay, is reloading a minor action?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let me get to my sheet here. All right. So what does aiming do exactly?
Aiming makes it that when you make your attack roll, you can re-roll one of the d20s if you don't like
Okay.
it.
All right. So I just click. I click next to fighting knife. Not fighting knife. Sorry.
The
Service
pistol.
pistol.
Yeah. Are you salvoing or are you just shooting?
I'm just. You know what? If I salvo, that gives me the vicious effect, right?
Correct. It just means you have to reload before you can shoot again. And
All
it
right.
does use up one of your ammo.
Let's do it.
Okay. You succeeded. You did have your high die was a 15, which did not succeed. Because you aimed, you can re-roll that if you like. Easiest thing to do would just be to roll a d20.
Oh,
Nice.
All right, so that puts you guys up to 5 momentum on this scene. Roll the damage dice on your pistol. Oh, you did 5 stress with 4 effects, so you did 9
whoa.
damage. So
Wow.
how does Baker put this guy down exactly?
Headshot, just like he always does.
Through the eye.
Excellent, baby.
Yeah. Blood and gray
Professional.
matter
Awesome.
and bits of skull
Professional.
flying out behind him.
Hey, based on his background, you know someone's down if you do a headshot. All right.
This before Baker?
Wow, all my guys have gone because the guy who hadn't gone yet, Baker just killed. So it's Khan and Pilecki. Who wants to go? Who wants to do what?
Go ahead, Con.
Make
I'm
sure
the
you mark
weakling
an
here.
ammo off, Baker.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we haven't done this very much, so I don't even know the answer to this question, but I suspect the answer is yes. Can I cast that spell again?
Absolutely.
Hmm. Sure. Why not? Let's dice with the devil, shall we?
That's right. You have 5 momentum.
Yeah, guys, do you mind if I use some of that?
Do it.
Or all of it? I don't know.
I mean, you could spend 1 for 1 die. You could spend 3 for 2.
I'll spend 3 for 2.
Okay, so that leaves you guys with 2 momentum. Very good.
And so, okay, wait, that's not right. Is it? Yes. So dice are 4.
Dice are 4.
Okay, submit. 1 second. Difficulty still 3.
Difficulty still 3. You were successful with a complication. I'm gonna think about that for a minute. But yeah, you hit. So
Okay.
so you can roll your. Let's see, your power's 5, and it gets plus 2 damage dice. So you
Yeah, and
can
I'm
roll.
adding the vicious effect
You're
again.
adding so you're spending 2 for vicious. So roll
Yep.
7 dice with vicious. 5 damage with 3 effects. So you did a total of 8 damage.
Oof.
I need to kill this man. I need to kill him. An urgent need that I have to satisfy.
and what does the vicious effect do?
It gives a point of damage for each effect.
Gotcha.
So he did a total of 8 stress damage. So
Wow.
this Khan casts his Spear of Indra again, uh, and
Plus the 2, right? It gets
he,
another 2 physical stress.
well, no, the +2 is for the 2 extra dice.
I see.
Yeah. So you can almost see the fear flash through Fuke's eyes as this spear, this lance of white hot holy light, transfixes Fuchs and burns a 6-7 inch hole clean through his body,
Oh
comes out
yeah,
the other
baby.
side,
Oh, does that feel
Awesome.
good?
and
Oh, I've been
Fuchs,
waiting like 4 sessions to finish this guy off.
Fuchs goes
Ah,
down with a burning, smoking hole in his chest that you can see right through.
Om
Nice.
Shanti. Indra has spoken.
Uh,
Slim like looks at Singh and he says, "God dang it, he owed me a coat."
roll your cost.
All right, here comes the bad news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll 5 damage dice
Oh,
with 2 effects. So this thing has piercing. So what's your courage for?
my courage is 4. Yeah.
So you took. So okay. So the 2 effects drops the courage down to 2, and it's 3 damage minus the 2 remaining courage. So you only took 1 damage.
Wow.
However,
The
you
courage
did
really helps.
gain 2 points of fatigue.
Okay. So let me up that.
Yep.
There we go.
Which does have a little bit of a nasty effect on your stress track. At least it should.
I don't know why I didn't see anything happen. I clicked off of it. I didn't see. I added fatigue,
Yeah, it shows the total down to 9, but it
but it didn't
didn't
change the
reduce the number
boxes.
of boxes. That's
Right.
weird.
But it has reduced them before.
It has. We've seen it do it. Here,
Yeah.
let me try something.
Maybe if I close it and try. Oh,
Give me 1
now
second.
that changed. It changed now. Maybe I got to start clicking from the left.
Maybe. All right. Okay, that was weird. All right, so it's an idiosyncrasy of the character sheet.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Interesting.
Pilecki, you get this German soldier with a rifle standing right in front of you.
Huh. Okay. I'm assuming that I mean he's pointing the rifle right at me.
Well, he just kicked in the door, so
He
he's
just
not
kicked in
really
the door.
aiming yet. Yeah, he's just within a few feet of you with the rifle in his hand.
Uh, I suck at melee too. I don't have my pistol drawn because I didn't draw it before. I don't believe. I mean, his minor action
Minor action draws a weapon if that's
draws
what
the
you want to do.
weapon and take a shot at him.
Yeah, minor to
And I
draw,
guess I'm gonna have
standard
to
to
do that.
attack. Yep.
Okay. All right. And let's see here. So I need to go to equipment and then I click the pistol, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are out of momentum, so there's no dice to buy with momentum unless you want to give me more threat to buy more dice. Or you can spend fortune, or you can just make an attack.
And for firing a weapon, which is that agility or is that?
Well, if you just click the attack button next to the weapon
I'm
itself,
just trying to figure out if I'm good at this or not because I don't think I've ever fired my weapon yet on this game.
a ranged weapon is
Coordination, probably.
coordination, I believe.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay.
Yeah, just go for it.
Are
Yeah,
you
just go for it.
are you salvoing to get the vicious effect, or which uses
Sure.
an ammo?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that'll burn all my ammo, right?
That'll burn
Yeah.
the ammo in the gun. It just
But
means you
hell,
have
we
to.
got a bunch of MP40s laying around, so we'll be good.
That's a true statement.
All
All right.
right.
Go ahead.
So 2 dice, right?
Yep. Correct. Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1.
You
Nice.
succeeded. All right. So roll the damage dice next to the weapon. And the 1911 does have the vicious effect, so.
That's next to the stress, right?
Yep.
And 5 dice, right?
Yep. Whatever it comes up with automatically.
Okay.
Yep. So you did 4 stress damage with a vicious, which does
Wow.
5 damage. you now he does have armor, mainly just because he's a soldier and he's tough. But
Mhm.
you pound around into him with your 1911. He stumbles as as he's bleeding. He was not expecting that, and he you seem to have hit him pretty well.
Okay.
Um, the round resets. Um, yeah, the round resets, so one of you can go.
Well, Walter. Oh, first of all, talking is free, right?
Yes.
Becker goes, "Oh, scheisse." Walter, I think you should go.
I, well, I'm out of ammo. Um,
Oh, you use vicious, so you're out of ammo.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
There's
out
not
of.
much you can do.
you have an ammo belt, don't you?
I don't think so.
All right, so let me ask: can I,
Oh no, you don't. So yeah, you're out of ammo.
Hmm.
if I move into the hallway, if I move back into the hallway,
That's a
that's a
minor action.
minor action.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna fire at the soldier.
Okay.
He's just a young kid. I hate to kill him for doing his job, but actually, Walter doesn't. I mean, Henry doesn't really
I was
care.
gonna say I don't think Henry gives a
No.
shit.
So Henry will fire his revolver. Oh no, I have to reload. I can't fire.
Oh. Well, we can retcon you acting first then if you want.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I didn't realize. I forgot that
Yeah,
I
you
used my
use vicious.
salvo.
So all right. So who wants to go first?
Somebody go first.
Well, I have an action in mind, but I don't want to monopolize first turn here. So,
Hey,
Please do.
Dude, if you
go
have an
for it.
action in mind, please, yes.
okay. Well, I am going to, or Slim is going to run, grab an MP40, and whatever magazines he can get his hands on, and run into the hall, uh, down the hall towards Plecky.
Okay. Well, picking up an item.
Hmm.
Um. Ooh, let me look at that for a second because I think we got a little bit of a. I think we've got a little bit of a something in the rules that may not be entirely clear.
Well, if he picks up an item, yeah, it sounds like there's a couple actions. A pickup of an item and a movement
Yep.
would seem to use up his actions.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd get to shoot or anything. I
Yeah,
just
but you could pick up an MP40 and move into the hall, and that would basically be the equivalent of two minor actions, so you'd be done.
okay. All right. And while I'm at it, uh, okay, never mind. Can't do it until I make an attack.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to make myself an obvious target here.
Well,
Anyone to help?
I think this guy, a German Gewehr rifle is not exactly the best weapon to be using at point blank range.
Mhm.
With an enemy, and Pilecki did just blast him with a 1911, so I think he's going to try to. I think he's going to try and butt stroke Pilecki with his rifle. And that would be a success. Um, wow, that is the worst damage roll in the history of damage rolls. Pilecki, do you
Is it?
have any armor? I
I
don't
don't
think you do.
believe so.
I could be
No,
wrong. All right, so you
no.
take one stress damage,
Hmm.
but it does have the stun effect. So you are stunned. You lose your action this round.
Okay.
But that could have been a lot worse. That was woefully
Yeah.
unimpressive.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to hand it to this kid. That's pretty brave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lowly private,
Really?
young, probably a young kid.
and,
All kinds of. He got shot.
and in all
Well,
fairness, he wouldn't have seen what Khan did to Fuchs. If he had, he probably would have just turned and run.
Yeah,
yeah.
but I would bet you a kid that's never really seen combat, who got shot, eh, he would have turned. Most of them would have turned and run anyway.
Yeah, but these are Nazis.
That's right.
No, but no, I'm saying good for him.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think you clarified something I was thinking of doing. He did not see what Khan did to Pierce.
No, because
I
you
was going to
guys,
try to
you guys
use
were in the
persuasion
room.
to get him to drop his weapon.
Yeah,
So if
you
he
guys
didn't
were
see
in
it,
the room.
there's no point, right?
Yeah. So who wants to go next?
Well, I think that Luca would have heard Walter, exclaim an ouch at least and recognize
So
the
Luca could
voice.
run back into the hallway and then attack. Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, go ahead. Make
All
Luca's
right.
attack.
That's what she's doing. So again, it's going to be a God, I gotta learn. I gotta write down how I activate her attacks. It's just a 2d20, right?
2d20. Yeah, your target number's 13 or less.
All right. 2d20. Come on, Luca.
2 hits. So that's a momentum.
Wow.
Dog's a better
And
better than you are.
oh yeah, hell yeah. And then
Um,
we go damage dice, right?
right,
So
which is what was it 3?
three.
Yeah. So
Three.
rolled 3 damage dice. No damage.
Oh,
Well,
please.
um, yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, look at that, 3 4s.
What are the
Wow.
odds of that? Oh,
How
that's
do you?
interesting. By the way,
You spend a fortune point to re-roll.
Yeah.
he
Oh
could
no.
he could spend a fortune point to re-roll the damage if he wanted to.
Is it really worth it?
Um.
As a side
mm,
note, something to keep in mind, guys, you can use 1 point of momentum to do an additional minor action in a turn.
Oh.
That's interesting. That could be helpful at some point. Yeah, up to you if you want to spend a fortune point to re-roll that damage, or you can leave it and just let someone else act.
I'll let Sing act. He's next, right?
Yeah, Singh and Baker both have
Yeah.
turns left.
Okay.
How many momentum do we have?
1.
Well, I was hoping to leave some momentum, so Pilecki could
So
do his
so
magic thing.
so that Singh could
I mean,
vaporize this poor guy with another spear of Indra.
no, I'm
I don't know if
I'm
he's worth the damage I'm
already
going to.
beginning to think about inspecting these bodies, and um, oh boy.
Well,
All
at
right,
this point, we're probably going to have to grab just a bunch of items, the sheets and stuff, and run out of here before more soldiers arrive, right? We got MP40s going off. We got,
I know it's been pretty loud. There's
and all
people.
we need is just one
the
of those
the good news
sheets.
is it's only been 30 seconds.
That's true, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to
Not even. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
reload my weapon and move into the hallway.
Okay. All right, that's good. Sing.
Aiming is a minor action.
It is, but you can't see the target.
Okay, I guess I'm confused. I thought this guy was in the room with us.
No, he's in the hallway outside the room. You're in the room.
Oh. All right. Well, can I move to a position where I could see him and still get an action?
You can, but I don't think you have a drawn weapon.
I guess I'll draw my weapon.
Yeah, so you can move into the hallway and draw. What weapon are you drawing?
My Webley or whatever the
The
analog
revolver.
one is. The revolver.
The
yeah.
gun.
It's not a Webley. It's I forgot what it is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah. Okay. That. I think that's everybody. The round resets. Who wants to go first?
I think Luca wants to go first. I think she's going to go after this guy again.
Okay.
I mean, the last round she just slobbered on him.
Yeah, pretty bad breath though. So, all right. So Luca's going to go. She's already on top of him.
Okay.
So
2d20
2d20.
Yep. Target number's 13 or less. 1 success.
One
So
success.
it's a hit. Roll your 3 damage dice.
Come on. Now for damage dice, what's better? You want lower?
A 1 damage, a 2 does 2 damage, 5 or 6 does 1 damage with an effect if any effect is possible.
And 3 or 4
Does
does
nothing.
nothing. All
Correct.
right. Okay. I got to remember that.
You did 1 point of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he has one armor. So
Mm.
she jumps at him and bites at him, but it's probably
Just
not a very
negated
good
it.
grip. It just doesn't get through his uniform. Maybe she
Okay.
goes at the leg and doesn't get through his boot or something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Um,
that's
I I think I do have to make a roll for him. Um, I do have to make a roll for him, being that he is rather. Oh no. Okay. Um, he turns and runs. So he turns and runs. He moves outside the doors, and then he goes running off to the left.
May I take the next action?
Absolutely, bro.
Help yourself.
Slim runs to the door.
Okay.
Is the kid in sight?
Yeah, he's at the like at the corner of the building, like he's trying to turn the corner of the building.
He levels the MP40.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid.
Oh yeah,
Pulls the
baby.
trigger.
All right. So an MP40 is let me pull that up in the player's guide. Well, you could make don't you have a 1911?
I do, yeah.
You could just click the die for that onto hit.
Okay.
Give me 1 second before you do it though. Let me get to the German military equipment. Where is the MP40? Where there it is. Submachine guns. So the MP40. Now you are at. So you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in close range. He's in the next zone over, basically. So the difficulty on the attack is 2.
Okay.
It does 4 base damage. I'm not sure if you have a bonus or not. We'll look at that in a second. If you want to salvo, you'll spend all the ammo, and it gives it the stun effect.
Yeah, we're going to salvo. He
Okay,
doesn't really care about holding on to this thing. He's just going to go full bore.
got it. All right. So yeah, you
All
can
right.
just hit the to hit die on your 1911, and because it's the same roll, and call it
All right.
difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. Here we go. Oh, wow. All right.
Wow, with a complication.
ouch.
With a complication. Okay, well, we know where all that's going to play out.
Damn it.
So yeah, you miss, and the gun is out of ammunition.
All right. He drops it on the ground. He says, "Piece of shit. You got anything American made in here?"
Damn crowd weapons.
Awesome.
Well, it was a nice try anyway, Slim. Of course, you've just notified every German within a mile that we're here.
Who's next?
Well, to be fair, the guy running away was about to do the same thing. So.
That's also true.
How far away is this guy? Could we all take shots at him, or is he?
Yeah,
Just
it would take pretty much all of you at this point your minor action to move so that you can see him, and then it would be a 2 difficulty attack because of his distance.
This just feels like a firing squad and doesn't feel that heroic right now. May I make a suggestion? Because we're running out of time, I feel like. Now this guy's running. Everybody knows we're here. There's a tank with a tank crew, like just outside. So I feel like we should put the best shots to secure the exit while the best observers go toss the room and look at the bodies. Because we got to hurry this up. We got to get
I
out
like
of here.
that.
Just let the guy
Other
go.
option. Other option. There's a loading bay with the Opel truck.
That is true, yeah.
How far
Oh,
away is that?
you've just been dying to get your
I
hands
really
on
like that
okay.
idea. I really like that's very what's the word I'm looking for?
All right, Henry's gonna
Cinematic.
Henry's gonna stay in character. Henry's going to move up
Yeah.
and take a shot at the guy.
All right, difficulty 2.
All right. Nah.
Oh,
No way. Wow.
man. Man. Um, who's left to his actions? Pilecki and Khan?
Yeah, but I'm out of ammo.
Oh, you are out of ammo. That's right.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Um,
I
I
guess
think
he gets away.
well, I
Well,
mean, I could shoot at him, but I think I'm just going to go back inside and start. I'm going to use my turn to start trying to find clues while
is
I'm
it
here.
like D&D where the combat ends and then goes back to regular turns, or is it all mixed?
yeah. If he gets away, it's gonna go. It's gonna drop basically out of combat. Yep.
You might as well take a shot, Sharif.
Okay, I'll take the shot then.
All right.
Um,
Yeah, don't worry about that complication building up more threat.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Spice of life is complication, right?
it's 2 dice and difficulty 2. You said,
Difficulty 2.
yeah. Pew.
Oh my god!
This guy's ugly. He's like
Oh my god!
bullet time.
Uh,
Oh man.
Oh,
sorry I said that.
It sort of makes sense though. He's running away into the night.
I'm the
you
one
know?
who jinxed it.
Yeah, yeah, because that's 2 complications.
Shit.
Wow, this is about to get interesting. Okay, Pilecki, what would you like to do? You have a turn.
Uh, Pilecki's going to use his turn to swear in Polish, German, and English, and run back into the morgue and start collecting shit because we got to get the fuck out of here.
All right, so running. All right, so moving back into the morgue is basically a minor action. What do you want to specifically look at?
The body with the freshest blood on what's covering it.
Okay, all right. So you pull the sheet back, and
Sanity check.
do you have courage, Pilecki?
I do. I've won.
You have one. So you
Hmm.
take 1 point of stress damage
Mm-hmm.
from the mental reeling of when you pull that sheet back. The thing that stares back at you with black, lifeless eyes is like the head of a viper or snake on a scaly torso.
Whoa.
Mm.
Um, it has arms and legs. One arm ends in a clawed hand, the other arm ends in a stump. It has a vestigial tail, and it's riddled with bullet holes
Mm.
from which blood was
So,
at one point seeping.
so it's not dressed. It's not wearing any clothing of any
It's
kind.
wearing like a tattered loincloth.
Mm. Okay.
Interesting.
Uh, very quickly uncover the rest of them. Just and taking the sheets and taking one sheet and like stuffing it into my shirt.
That's fine. There's 4 of these serpentine bodies, and there's 2 people. The two people are naked. It's a man and a woman.
Hmm.
Um, so that's most information I'm going to give you at that point. Um, all right. Technically, we're still in combat. The round resets. You guys still get one person who gets to act before this guy just gets around the corner of the building and runs away.
I think Baker should take the shot. He's our best.
I'll aim and fire.
All right.
The only thing we're buying now is if this guy gets away, he can direct people directly to us. So if we can stop him, maybe it'll slow them down a little bit, figuring out where to go. So Let me get
And
my
it's one less
sheet.
guy we'll have to face when they come running in here.
All right, let me pull up my sheet here. Difficulties 2, right?
Correct.
How
And
much momentum do we have?
you have 1. And because you're aiming, you get to re-roll 1d20.
All right, I'm going to leave that momentum alone, I guess. Um, difficulties 2 still.
Oh my god.
God,
Holy shit.
what is
Wow.
our problem today? I swear. Oh, only 2 dice. Man.
2 20s.
I'm I'm going to suggest that you guys stop rolling.
I rolled 2 20s.
Um you do get to re-roll one of those. You did
All
roll two
right.
Incredible.
twenties. Yeah, you get to re-roll one cuz you aimed. So, that's a success, but you needed 2 successes. At least you got rid of one of the complications.
Correct.
The entire
And Fuchs heals himself and comes back to life.
Well, that kid's definitely a reoccurring enemy now. The
um
villain.
all right. He runs around the side of the building and he's shouting something in German as he does so. We are out of combat. What do you guys want to do?
Slim he yells down the hall. I'll start up the truck. You get that shit down here.
Okay. And yeah, yeah, Walter is going to do something pretty macabre. And I don't know, personal effects like pocket knives and shit. Do we got those?
Within reason. Yeah, what'd you
Well,
have in mind?
I'm in a morgue, so there's plenty of tools
Oh,
here.
there's scalpels and all sorts of shit. Yeah.
I am going to, and again, this sounds terrible, but I don't know, this is what we do in a cult. Cut off the finger of each one of the two victims and cut off a small appendage off of one of the whatever they are, the lizard people.
Okay.
The
Amazing.
and stick those in my like if there's was plastic invented back then? I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
It
plastic
was?
existed, but it wasn't in wide
Yeah.
commercial use like it is now.
Wrap them up in something that's not going to bleed all over my uniform and stick it in my pocket.
Got it.
And then we need to get the fuck out of here.
Um,
Unless there's something else in this room that looks, like if there's a Palantir sphere in the middle glowing, then I'll grab that too. But I don't think that's the case, right?
no, not so much. Singer
Con, no.
Baker.
Con will move to assist him. How many covered bodies are still there?
Well, he's uncovered them all. There's 4 of these lizard snake bodies, and then there's 2 human beings.
Okay, so he's predominantly dealing with the lizards, right? I'm trying to figure out how to help here to glance over to see if we've missed anything with my observation.
Well, you can just make an inside observation. Um,
The
uh, with
okay.
I think it would be. I think in this case it'd be sight.
Okay. So no.
Difficulty 1. Just call it a 1. All right. So you got momentum. You guys are at 2 momentum. Um, so the what I'll tell you from just a quick glance around, there obviously there is the lab station off to one side where there's multiple microscopes set up. The all 4 of the creatures, for lack of a better word, all 4 are basically, to your eye, are basically identical. The only thing different from one to the next is how many bullet holes they have in them. They're all missing the left hand. If they're even supposed to have a left hand, they just seem to, their left arm seems to end in a stub. The 2 humans, one has what looks like multiple claw marks through its chest and abdomen, which you're your untrained medical opinion would indicate that that was the cause of death, just at a quick glance. The other individual is their their flesh around their neck. Their neck was pierced, and their flesh around their neck is all bloated and mottled and discolored, and that swelling has even moved up into their facial features. So,
So some kind of poison, it looks like.
um,
Toxic or venom or something like that.
you could make a medicine roll if you want to try to come to that conclusion.
Uh, I have 2
I would
in my
let you use
ranks.
insight or reason, whichever one's better.
Sure, I'll try it.
Okay.
Insight. Dice 2, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. So how am I doing this relevant skill? Medicine?
Yeah, medicine. I don't know
Uh,
if you have any
no
no
focus.
focus, so yeah.
What's the difficulty you said?
One.
Okay.
Two
Nice.
successes with momentum. Um, with your cons from a place that probably has its fair share of dangerous animals. And it certainly seems, and he's well traveled, obviously. It certainly seems to be in line with some sort of venom. Without blood samples and equipment, you obviously can't be completely sure, but
I'll open the
certainly.
mouth of one of the snake people.
Okay, yeah,
With fangs or
yeah,
proboscis
absolutely,
or something.
yeah,
Something weird.
yeah, fangs and yeah, definitely has fangs. Anything more than that would require more time and another roll.
All right. Well, I think that's about. So they don't have any like um, artifacts that we can grab. They don't have tools. They don't have weapons beyond their loincloth.
No.
All right. I think we should get the fuck out of here now. Khan will say, I think we should get out of here.
Baker, you got anything you want to do while the two Pilecki and Singh are doing that?
I'll remark, pull one of those teeth to Khan if he has the time to do it.
Baker?
How much time will that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's like 15 seconds. Grab a plier or some kind of implement and just yank that fucker out if it's not too tough. Hey, I don't know how big these heads are. Maybe they're giant.
Well, I don't know what snake people's teeth are like, but a human tooth could take a really long time.
These things look like slee stacks by any chance?
They're well, they're certainly kind of. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this, by the way.
Oh,
Um, I forgot to do this, by the way. Baker, do you have courage?
He's got like 4, doesn't he?
No, Singh has 4.
Oh, Sing is 4.
Yeah.
no.
So Baker, you take 2 points of damage, 2 points of stress from the mental effects of seeing these creatures when you ran back into the room.
I did run back in the room.
Oh, did you run back into the room?
No, I'm still standing
You're
in the
still in the
hall.
hallway. You haven't decided what you're doing yet, so hold on to that. Sing, you would take the 2 damage, but you got 4 courage, so this is probably nothing that with your occult background, this is nothing that you haven't come to expect out of
It's
the
nothing
world.
worse than taking a stroll in the back alleys of New Delhi. It's no
That's right.
big deal. No
That's
big
right.
deal at all.
All right, so Baker, while the two of them were doing those things, what were you doing?
Okay, so I had a question first. Um, Slim fired all the shots from that MP40, and then he dropped it and went to the truck to start the truck, right?
Right.
Correct.
So the MP40 is sitting there, but were there any extra clips, or was it just the MP40?
That was just the MP40. Now, whether or not the soldiers have those, have extra clips, I mean, it would stand to reason.
Yeah, but the 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 two guys that were in the room, the two soldiers that were in the room um, that we offed, they both had MP40s.
Correct.
All right, so All right, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. I'm gonna pick up the MP40.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in the room
Okay.
and I'm going to um, check the soldiers' bodies for ammo. Now, obviously, there's an MP40 in there
Right.
that
Which
was never
is
fired.
no, it was fired. That's the empty one. The one that the guy sprayed bullets everywhere and missed.
Oh,
He never got to reload. He got killed before anything happened.
Yeah, I
oh,
think he
okay.
shot at me actually and missed
Yeah.
me.
That's right. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to look for any ammo for the MP40.
Absolutely. Finding a replacement clip and reloading's no problem.
Okay. And then when I look around, obviously, I see the
Snake people, yeah.
snake people. So how much stress?
2.
Gentlemen, I suggest that if you are finished here, we make haste.
So Slim,
Yep.
you go out to the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's no keys in the ignition.
Well, that ain't but a thing.
Slim's been waiting his whole life for this.
So, yeah, we're gonna hotwire this baby. What
Guys, I'll
skills
be
are
right
going to be
back. 2
relevant? I've
minutes.
got a mechanical engineering
Um,
focus here.
you could use I could see you. It's definitely a reason based role with
Okay.
either engineering or vehicles, whichever one's better for you.
Okay.
With focus in mechanical engineering or heavy vehicles.
Okay. So, just doing the math there. Ooh, reason based. I'm going to do reason vehicles. Um,
Okay,
yeah, that's going to be. And what difficulty would you?
just one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah,
Also, we
those
have we also have some momentum. How many momentum?
you have 3 momentum.
So can he
Can I?
aid his roll if he burns a momentum?
He surely could.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
So,
we need this truck started.
one momentum or two.
Well, one
What is
momentum
your?
gets you 1 die. All 3 momentum gets you 2 dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't use up all the momentum, I don't think.
Okay. All right. So I'll buy one momentum.
Okay, so you have
So
3 dice.
3 dice. Skills and vehicles. Come on, baby. No focus. Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1.
Okay.
Ooh, by the
Whew.
skin of your teeth. And it's your 3rd die that was the success too.
Oh wow.
So yeah, the truck rumbles up to life. As you work on it, yeah, you know sparks it a couple times, and then it yeah it rumbles up. So you got a running truck.
Amazing. I have to be mindful of time here.
Yeah, so do I actually.
But man, I am gunning to drive.
All right, so you guys back in the room want to do anything else, or you're charging out?
Just picking up if there's any weapons on the floor, like the MP40s from the soldiers, and run out for me. Call to Luca and Chanel Chanel.
Yeah. Um.
I'm beating feet too. I'm assuming that the experts have gotten what they need.
I believe I'm going to leave as well.
All right. So, Palecki, I would let you grab I would let you grab a weapon if you wanted to. On your way out, there is another MP40. Of course, that one you would know to be unloaded. So unless you want to take more time to search for ammunition, but Fuchs had a Walther PPK.
Oh, sweet.
So
Yes.
I'll take that.
all right, that'll be fine. Uh, as you guys all get into the truck, um, who wants to make an insight observation with a hearing focus?
I've got good inside observation. I do not have hearing focus, but
I don't think anyone has hearing focus, actually.
No.
I don't have that focus, but I also have a high insight observation.
Who's got the best combination of those two numbers?
12 for me overall.
Total 15 for me.
Jesus.
All right, you're the man. Do it.
Slim, you can make the roll as well. You can do a single die as an assist.
Okay.
Difficulty for you, Con, would be 1, and then for Slim, we count it as 0.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
you guys picked up 2 more momentum. You're at 4 momentum. As you guys are clambering over to the truck, you hear a sound, and Slim, you recognize it immediately. The sound of tank
Whoa.
tracks
Shit.
echoing and grinding through asphalt is echoing through the area. Sounds like it's coming from around the left side of the building, which would make sense because the tank was on the southern bridge. So if that's the same tank that's coming for you, the only tank you've seen in Rome, it would probably come around from that side of the building.
So he shouts back. He says, "Boys, saddle up. We gotta go." Amazing.
All right, you guys. All right, you guys all climb into the truck.
Is that the
As
only way we
fast as
can?
humanly possible.
All right, drive. But is that the only way we can go? If it's to
No,
the left,
no.
can we go to the right?
You can go to the right.
Right,
Your
it is.
discretion, Slim.
Oh yeah, we are.
As much as Slim is confident in his abilities, I doubt he wants to fight a tank with a truck.
All right. So, quick question. This Opal truck, is it like a panel truck
It's
with
a
doors,
it's a large canvas covered truck.
canvas covered?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, um, all right. So I'm going to use my knife real quick to cut a slit in the canvas on on above the cab,
Okay.
so I can look forward with my machine gun
Okay.
because I'm riding in back, and I'm gonna look out through the slit with my machine gun.
All right.
All right, go Slim, go.
Hit your tits and pucker up. It's time to peel the paint. and
He's been waiting 6 game sessions to say that.
Yeah.
and we're gonna,
Yeah.
we'll
Grind the
we'll
gears and
grind the gears and get the heck out of here. And I assume this thing is sluggish as hell.
yeah.
As,
I mean,
as we're bombing down the street, Khan will look from the passenger seat over to Slim with a smile on his face, and he will say, "Is it everything you hoped it would be?"
Well, we're about to find out. And yeah, do you want to finish this scene today, or do you want to leave it there? Or
oh,
what are your thoughts?
You guys peel the truck. You're going up a ramp, but you rumble the truck forward, and once you kind of get to the top where it levels out, you cut hard to the right and start cutting around the far side of the building. You have the belief that just as you turn the corner, you're pretty sure that Panzer One was about to turn the other corner. As you guys drive off into the night and uh, uh, turn up the northern bridge because it's the closest exit, and get the hell off Tiber Island.
Nice.
Wow. Skin of our teeth. What a fun combat.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
was so good, man.
Great
Yeah,
job, everyone. Sing, especially, man. Just
Yeah.
downing people. Baker, too. Actually,
Yeah, I'm
everybody.
proud of
Luca.
everybody. I'm proud of
Yeah.
everybody, and I'm glad that Slim had his truck stealing moment finally.
And the dog.
Even the
dog.
dog.
Oh, the
She got stabbed though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
still,
okay. That's all right.
dog made a huge contribution.
yeah, it really
She did.
He was huge, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you guys, man, that was when you guys rolled that complication. When Baker rolled that complication, talking to the German sergeant, I was like, I know exactly what that's gonna be.
Marty, that was brilliant.
That
Well
was.
done.
That was really good,
especially
yeah.
off the cuff, because
Right.
that turned this whole encounter into like something really special when it could have just been just another fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and for that matter, if he hadn't been there, you guys had walked in on a couple of German soldiers laying bodies on tables. Baker had just said, we're here to inspect them. go guard the hallway or something, and they probably would have done it, and it would have been just, which is fine, but this was a lot more fun.
Way more fun.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next
very
week,
cool.
or what's the situation?
no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm in.
Yep, me too.
Awesome.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome,
All
guys.
right, guys.
I will
Thanks, guys.
see you later. Thanks a lot.
See you next week.
Hey, Kyle,
Yeah.
send me a pic of your mechs.
Oh, for sure.
Cool.
We're not done yet, but I'll send you a pic.
Cool, can't wait. All right, later, guys.
All right, guys.
Bye.